Need any level from me, or is this fine as it is, like this? Yeah, hi there. I'm with Manic Street Preachers on In Demand Uncut. Is that all right? It's not coming back. Cool, I will do. Oh, I'm in my place.
Yeah, sorry.
It's In Demand Uncut, and it's brilliant to welcome one of my favourite bands from the past 20 years, without a doubt. Manic Street Preachers at In Demand HQ. Hey guys!
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm trying to remember actually the very first time that I saw you guys live. I think it was at the Marquee in London.
Cracker.
Yeah, and it may... My recollection of that night is that you went off, the crowd were baying for an encore, Public Enemy came back on the PA system, and then you sort of went back on stage.
And there's no one left in the crowd.
And folk were all leaving.
No, it's the only time we ever did an encore. It was
That's
a
right.
complete disaster. And we didn't want to do one then, but we just genuinely felt loved for the first time in our lives as a band. You know, people did want us back, and it was a bad thing to do. And we've never ever done one since, 21 years later. It's not bad.
Wow, and I was there the time you did your only ever encore.
So our atrocious encore.
That's fascinating, because I was going to say you're not going to remember my first Manic Street Preachers experience, but you do.
Indelibly scarred. We came back on and did You Love Us?
Graham Coxon was supposed to be in that gig as well, apparently.
We were hanging out together.
Yeah. We were too.
What I've done is I've been on the social networks, and I've got a bunch of Manic's fans to ask questions via Facebook and Twitter, so we're going to do that very soon. In fact, most of the questions are round about the same question. They all want to know about this hiatus the band are going on, but I'll ask you the questions after the first song. What are you going to play for us?
We're going to be doing something off Know Your Enemy, Ocean Spray first. Okay?
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4.
It's easy to see, it's easy to see. To see only whites where color should be. It's easy to feel, it's easy to feel. But it's not good enough, even though it's real.
Wonderful. The first tonight from Manic Street Preachers in session on In Demand Uncut. That was Ocean Spray. So these questions that have come in, most of them asking about this hiatus you guys are undertaking. Here's some of them. This is just a selection asking similar questions. Lynn on Twitter, are you really having a 2-year break? Bryce Kitcher, my favourite band, ask them how long their break from making music will last. They will be they will be sorely missed. And Greg Clark on Twitter, how long is this break you're taking going to be? My fave band ever, not happy at the thought of a manicless future. So what's going on, guys?
No, we're still going to be making music. We're not going to do any. This gig we're doing at the O2 is going to be the last show we do in the UK for a good couple of years. We might well do the odd trip abroad, but just got to finally one more reinvention, and you know, we've really got to kind of go deep into ourselves in the studio and try and come up with something new and magnificent, and without any distractions.
So while you're away, you will be continuing as Manic Street Preachers, but just not in the public eye. It's not like you're going off and doing lots more solo stuff.
We'll be in the Manic Clubhouse, won't we? We got our studio, and we're gonna hunker down in the bunker and just see what we come up with.
Now, this album that's coming out at the end of the month, National Treasures, it's the singles collection. I can believe it. It's like 9 years since your last sort of best of collection. Wow, it seems like yesterday.
I know, and I think there was 19 singles on that. There was a couple of new tracks and stuff, and this felt like the completest ideal of the band, you know, that to move forward to the next phase, we just wanted to clear the decks, release all 38 singles from Motown Junk to This Is the Day, and I think it does allow us to sort of draw a line in the sand and come back with something, hopefully something startling and new, if we can manage it.
Well, it is the complete singles.
Yeah.
If you could choose, would there be any tracks that you wouldn't put on this album?
We're pretty bad. We're pretty good at raining on our own parade, really. There, by the grace of God, I think universally, all of us kind of can't seem to find a reason to like it. I suppose.
Apart from the fact it was a top 5 hit.
Hey, but what success compared to a creative,
Integrity.
artistic integrity.
So that'll be the one you're playing next for us.
No.
I think So Isosad was a bit of a missed opportunity. It was nearly there, but it didn't quite get where it perhaps could have gone.
I take the Fifth Amendment on that one. It was all my fault. Nicely.
Do you generally agree about stuff when you're in the studio, when you're releasing things?
Just about, I think.
There needs to be a wee bit of friction, surely, to make a band work.
There usually is. Yeah, it usually is between James and the producer, which can result in dangerous times. But I think we all respect each other's opinion, for definite. You know, that wasn't always the case because I just wasn't interested. Me and Richie weren't that interested in the music at the start. But you know, everything changes because we're so kind of consumed. When we put a record out, it is about everything. It is about the artwork. It is about the songs, how we present ourselves and the touring and everything. You know, we're not just a band who just bungs stuff out. So we do get consumed by it, and that's probably why we do need to just take a little bit of a time to reconsider ourselves.
I know this National Treasures album sort of coincides with the 21st anniversary of the first single, Motown Junk and stuff, but next year it's the 20th anniversary of Generation Terrorist, your first album. Do you not feel you should be marking that in some way?
I think we should do some kind of deluxe edition.
But probably, yeah. If we did any concerts, it wouldn't be in Britain. I don't think we really will.
No, I think it's. I'd like. There's so many different mixes, so many demos. We got so much stuff.
Yeah.
Here we go. I need something to do. I'm bored already.
I know.
I can't bear to take a year off.
But we have got lots of demos from that period where, you know, we sound even younger than we do on that actual album. You know, it kind of sounds like mini pops sometimes, you know. So there is a lot of archive stuff there, but you got to be careful, otherwise you become a living museum if you keep, you know, celebrating the past. And obviously we're doing that with this record. So to go forward and do it with another record would be kind of...
I mean, I've really come round to the album again. I think it's a glam rock, naive kind of political masterpiece in a bizarre kind of way. It's incredibly young and, you know, sounds pretty of its time, shall we say. But I think it's quite a prophetic album, you know. I think it's good when you can look back and be slightly embarrassed by a record because it just means that you were kind of growing up on the spot.
I also remember, Nicky, when I first interviewed you and Richie before the album came out.
Now
you
I'm
were,
getting
you
scared.
were telling me this was going to be, you were going to split up after this first record. How do you feel about that now?
I feel pretty bad for James and Sean because me and Richie were like kind of mini dictators in terms of the press and having a kind of pretty odd and warped vision of what we should do.
Me and Sean would go to interviews just to see what was happening, to find out what the future would be, basically.
But and I could obviously James and Sean's musicianship was blossoming and all that, and they could see a career ahead of them. And me and Richie were kind of romantic nihilists at the time. Having said that, it was a division of labour. We did all talk about Public Enemy, and it was like everything was a compartmentalised where everyone had a specific role.
Yeah, because I remember it was Public Enemy and Guns N' Roses. Those were the two bands for you.
Yeah.
Gordon Brown on Twitter, interested to know what the Manics of Generation Terrorists era would have made of them releasing best of and career retrospectives.
I don't think there's an issue in that. I think if you look at us at the start, all we ever said was we wanted to be gigantic. We were never kind of indie snobs whatsoever. In fact, that's what we fought against. And there was a lot of rhetoric and stuff, but I mean, we grew up loving best ofs and greatest hits, be it
Yeah, I mean, it was
ABBA or
the
whatever.
Buzzcocks like collection,
Singles Going Steady.
Yeah, Singles Going Steady, Snap by Jam.
Yeah.
They were kind of, that was your gateway to a lot of bands. Your first loves and stuff. So it wouldn't have bothered us.
What's the second song you're going to do for us?
Yeah, it's a song. Doesn't
We've
quite.
done it before.
Yeah, it doesn't quite lend itself to being an acoustic number, but we're going to give it a go. It's off This Is My Truth, Tell Me Yours. It's called Tsunami. And forgive us if I mess up. 1, 2, 3, 4.
For you, my dear sister, holding on to you forever. Just go dancing with the rapists. Your only crime is silence. I can't work at this anymore. Can't move, I wanna stay at home. Tied up to all these crutches, never far from. Tsunami, tsunami came washing over me.
Tsunami, it's Manic Street Preachers on In Demand Uncut. James, you needn't have worried.
I messed up once, but it was okay.
I didn't notice.
No, I didn't notice.
We've got James, Sean and Nikki from Manic Street Preachers as we approach the release of their singles collection, National Treasures. 38 singles.
It's amazing, isn't it?
That's bonkers. So it has to be a double album, obviously.
It is, yeah. It's a double album with a DVD of all the singles, all the videos for all the singles and stuff. And there's loads of stuff.
Do you know all the songs? If I was to put you in the spot and say, play every song chronologically, would you be able to do that?
No.
No.
No, we've just started the long haul of practicing, some songs that we haven't played for over 10 years, like Love Sweet Exile. We haven't played that live.
I think
15
Thailand
years? Yeah,
was the last
Thailand.
time.
94, that was.
Did it like Simple Minds? Boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom.
Day by the Grace of God, we haven't played that live since we released it.
No.
So kind of lyrically, I think that's where the shortfall comes. I would just be going, I wouldn't know a lot of the lyrics, to be honest.
Are you going to be playing them all at the O2?
Everyone.
Yeah.
So there'll be an interval. We'll do 20 songs or whatever, 19. Half hour where there'll be some entertainment in between, and we'll get a rub down and, a massage and some ice cream. And the crowd can have a rest as well. And then we'll come back and let it rip for the last hour and a bit.
I'll have
I
learned
take
all
it you're going
the
to
lyrics by then.
mix up the songs, the order a bit.
Yeah, we got to. Yeah, really. Otherwise, they kind
We
of.
have, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, kind of. Yeah. Kind of. I don't know. There's just musical stuff about guitar changes and. And things like that. And I don't know. I think if you went through the middle section where they were so I so sad, Day by the Grace of God, Love of Richard Nixon, there might be an exodus to the bar. So we've got to place those songs in between others.
Some more questions that have come in. James Snadden on Facebook. Can you ask them how much they enjoyed this year's Tea in the Park? I thought they were amazing. One of the best performances of the weekend.
I thought Tea in the Park was the best British festival we did because they were quite a struggle overall, but that was definitely. We did a mad journey from Sweden. We'd been in about 4 different countries, and it was a relief to be welcomed so heartily, I have to say.
Because you've got fond memories of DF concerts, the promoters generally, in terms of like the first time you played Tuts and all that.
No, indeed. We're pretty loyal kind of people. We stayed with the same promoters in the UK all round and Scotland, obviously, and it's a nice feeling that you're still wanted, really. Some of our best gigs ever from King Tuts or Barrowlands, or Edinburgh Corn Exchange.
The Bay Hotel in Gurrock Bay.
Can't beat that.
That was a great gig.
Well, Lorna Futter wants to know what your favourite thing about Scotland is.
Many, many, many things, really. One of them is the King's Calf just off Sauchiehall Street. I love that. I always go there all the time. It's one of my little pilgrimages.
I like the architecture. I think, you got the amazing sort of granite in Aberdeen. Then you got the Edinburgh, and then you come to Glasgow, and you kind of feel the sort of, I don't know, almost the colonial power. It's just something different in every city you go.
Ian Crichton Smith, one of my favourite poets from Scotland.
I like this question as well.
Stuart Adamson from the Skids, got to go in there as well.
Yeah, and you may have just answered this, because Lorna also asked who your most influential Scots are.
For me, it's the period of the second to the 4th album of Simple Minds. So Real Cacophony, Empires and Dance, and Sons of Fascinations. With the free album, Sister Feelings Call, just for the train spotters.
So confusing. I can never keep up with that.
That's for me.
And John McGeoch, you'd have to say.
And John McGeoch from Magazine, just one of my favourite guitarists of all time. I mean, Scotland went through one of the most glorious periods of music ever back then. It was just absolutely stunning.
And Mogwai, I love Mogwai. I love Teenage Fanclub.
Amazing band.
Peter Capaldi for playing Malcolm Tucker in the thick of it. My role model. Only he could do that.
Sean, you've not got a microphone, but you can shout an answer. Yeah.
It has to be Jackie Stewart for you, wouldn't it?
It would have to be, yeah.
Now, when you release a singles collection or whatever, there's always that thing where there's a new song. You've resisted the temptation of writing something new. You've gone for a cover, and you're going to play it for us. Why have you gone for this song?
Well, there was a few up for discussion. My favourite, Dressed by the Wedding Present, is a Prisoner's song, which I really adored, and This Is the Day, and this just sounded the best. We didn't want to write a new song. I think we'd be exhausted ourselves with Postcards, 3 albums in 3.5 years. So it was a conscious decision. We've always loved doing covers. We've always just just want to make a tribute to a song we dearly love, and James in particular absolutely adored this song.
Okay.
Please go for it. This is the day, Manic Street Preachers.
Song written by Matt Johnson from The There. It's called This Is the Day. 1, 2, 3, 4.
You didn't wake up this morning 'cause you didn't go to bed. You were watching the whites of your eyes turn red. The calendar on your wall is ticking. The days of you be reading some old letters. You smile and think how much you changed, and all the money in the world couldn't bring back those days. You pull back the curtains and the sun burns into your eyes. You watch a plane flying across a clear blue sky. This is a day your life will surely change. This is a day when things fall into place. You could have done anything if you wanted, and all your friends and family think that you're lucky, but the side of you they'll never see. It's when you're left alone with your memories that hold your life together like glue. You pull back the curtains and the sun burns into your eyes. You watch a plane flying across a clear blue sky. This is a day your life will surely change. This is a day when things fall into place. This is the day your life will surely change. This is the day when things fall into place. This is the day. This is the day.
This is the day, Manic Street Preachers on In Demand Uncut. We're going to get one more song from the guys, but a few more questions.
I got really distracted then. I was thinking of Peter Lorimer and Kenny Dalglish,
Oh.
and then I was going through old bands and golfers and Colin Montgomery. Just a rush of Scottish
What
stuff.
was the 800 metres?
Alan Wells,
No,
Ah.
the 800 and 1500 metres.
Tom
running.
McKean.
Oh, Tom McKean. Should have said him.
Yeah, it's all just rushing like a maelstrom through my head.
All those Scots, indeed. Peter Cox was in touch. Actually, this shows you that if you say something in a magazine interview, everyone takes it literally. So I don't know if, the truth behind this or not. But I think it was an Uncut magazine where you made a comment about when you return, that maybe James, you wouldn't be the singer and you'd have another singer.
No, I just kind of there is a degree in truth in that in terms of an idea. I suppose after kind of being in the band for so long and 10 albums, inevitably you might get literally sick and tired of sounding your own voice, and I like the idea of us indulging ourselves and doing some kind of opus and having another singer in the band as well, because voice just changes the direction the music can go in so much. We found that out with Your Love Alone, that when another voice comes into the band, suddenly you can just make it feel alive. And it would just, not to give up singing, just have somebody else come in to the band and just give us something.
And then that collaboration with Nina from the Cardigans sort of really worked, and the female vocal does
It did.
work. I'm like when you work with Tracy Lords in the past,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
it just it sort of adds something.
I remember Kylie singing Little Baby Nothing with us on stage at Shepherd's Bush in '96, which is pretty high standard actually of female singers.
Yes, yes.
And me and James wrote one for Shirley Bassey, which we loved doing, and that turned out really well. So
We've always wanted to get Elton John to kind of do Little Baby Nothing with us
Yeah,
live, haven't we?
yeah.
Oh, that would be good. Well, why don't you do an album like that, duet sort of idea, where you do a whole album with different female singers?
There will be an element of that, but whether it's Ian McCulloch, we'd love to get to have John Lydon rapping on his kind of
Whoa.
just mess and dirge of a song or something, or we'd love to write a song for Morrissey. There's plenty of different angles. That's what I mean. We've got to come back with something which is. I mean, I still love James's voice, as do most of the fans, but I can understand.
I think they just want somebody more attractive in the band.
Looking at the current UK top 40, there's not that many guitar bands. Is this sort of the beginning of the end of rock and roll?
I just feel
Tough question.
pretty tough times. It's a golden age for pop and R&B and hip hop, whatever you want to call it, urban. It is a kind of golden age, but from when we started to now, I wouldn't like to be a young guitar band trying to break in. If you're really ambitious and you want to kind of change the world in a naive sort of way, we had a lot of backing from the record company. We had a lot of backing just internally and from we still got the same management and stuff. And I just don't know. We didn't sell any big records till our fourth album. I don't know if a band will get a chance anymore to develop.
Do you think it might grow in the underground then? The next sort of major guitar bands, might totally bypass the major labels?
I don't know. I think the bands that we love, truly love, be it the Pistols or the Who, or the Clash or the Stones, they've always been slightly more than that. I think there is brilliant music out there. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we're both addicted to we're all addicted to the Kurt Weill album, and Jenny and Johnny record. I absolutely, I love Jenny Lewis and stuff. There's loads of good music out there. Scum, I think, are great. Yuck. Scum and Yuck. I always use those two together.
And Off as well. Scum, Yuck and Off.
So that, Yuck are great. There's loads of, I'm not saying there's no good music, but since the Libertines, there's not that band you can hang your hat on and actually say, I want to be in that band. I think that's the sort of difference, the lifestyle.
I think, if you talk about an underground, it's hard to kind of define what that is, and it tends to eat itself really quickly. I mean, if you look at the last time, there was such a, people talk about the way the Arctic Monkeys came about, and they went straight to a major label, and that's how they kind of existed after that. That's how they managed to kind of sustain their profile. So it's hard to see a future without the way it's been done, really.
Well, the internet wasn't even around when you guys started out. That's made a huge difference to music, and sort of even local bands can get their music out to a worldwide audience, and people can chat about it and tweet about it and share music with their friends on Facebook or whatever.
And that all sounds,
I'm not sure if that's a good thing.
it sounds beautiful, but I think music is at its best when it absolutely becomes universally part of the cultural landscape. I mean, when one song affects millions and millions and millions of people around the world, that's when music is at its best. I mean, I'm a true indie head as well, kind of like I said, the Kurt Weill album, that's, not going to sell 1 million in Britain, and I need that, like I need the June Brides and Big Flame when I was young. But you also need music to actually be part of the cultural landscape and just feel as if it's destroying everything, in its wake.
You only got to look to the Nirvana reissue, still, that's the most powerful album released this year. Never mind.
I suppose as well, when you look at these new records that are coming out and having that impact, it's only going to happen if they're like synced with a movie or a TV ad, and then it's a
really
total
true.
contradiction in terms of like ripping the scene apart.
It is. I mean, kind of. Look, we're just older. We've just been, we've been from the cassette single to the download, so we've experienced everything. But back in the day, we would have just got absolutely ripped apart by the Melody Maker and Enemy for just, doing a sync, or just being on an advert, or just like even giving one of our songs away to a video game. They would have killed us for it.
You must have turned down some big bucks.
We have done, yes. For Design for Life in particular. Just doesn't feel right. I was watching Stephen Fry the other day, and someone asked him if does he feel diminished by doing so many voiceovers, and he was really cool about it. He said, "No, I like to feel beneath myself at times. You know, that's a good feeling, which I do as well. I like to be humiliated and stupid at times, but it's never really sat with us. It's gone on too long now that we've missed our chance, I guess.
Entrenched and embittered.
There will always be a band. I'm sure there will be a band that comes from somewhere. You know." I mean, I love the Horrors. I think the Horrors are a brilliant band. They sound like a band. They look like a band. And there is lots of good music, but I just don't know if it's going to have that flamethrower effect where you're kind of forced to listen to them. You know, you just think, oh, I just have to be part of this.
As always, it's fabulous to see you. Thank you very much for coming into In Demand HQ. One final session track from Manic Street Preachers. What are you going to play us?
We're going to play Your Love Alone's Not Enough without Nina, unfortunately.
So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Your love alone is not enough, not enough, not enough. When times get tough, well, they get tough, they get tough. Treat all your heroes in for ghosts. They're always the ones that love you most, love you most.
James, Sean, Nikki, thank you very much.
Cheers, James. Thanks
Cheers,
a
man.
lot.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Manic Street Preachers on In Demand Uncut.
Messed up a tiny bit.